Okie dokie. Hello guys. I'm recording this right now, and you probably don't know what the heck is going on. But for all those people who watched me before, yeah, I will be working on that game. I will get to it eventually. But for now, this is something I've been doing for a Discord server known as Overkart. Anybody who's heard of this before knows that it's a program that allows you to make custom courses and also to edit some stats around in Mario Kart 64. It's the first real modding tool the game's ever really had. It hasn't really had anything before. And me and a few buddies on the Discord server talk a lot about this game. And I've been messing around with the character stats a lot lately. And I have my own ROM I've made. I haven't made any courses, but I have changed a lot of things about the characters. And this document you see is all these stats that the characters have, and I'll explain what these mean. So the 50cc, 100cc, 150cc, and extra numbers are special speeds that have a sort of soft cap, where it's as fast as the game will let you drive and steer when you're on a certain cc. But doing things like boosting and getting a mini turbo from a drift and stuff like that will still allow you to surpass this speed. And some of these characters might have much lower speeds and you'd be all confused, but I'll get to that later. To be fair, the battle speeds is its own CC, but I barely tested those, so they're probably going to change. Top speed is a little different. Top speed is a hard cap. There is nothing you can do to go faster than your top speed. Nothing in the game will allow you to do that. So you usually have it set higher than any of the CC speeds, as their definite fastest possible speed. Weight, very self-explanatory. If you have a higher number, you'll be able to bump other people away from you easier, and people bumping into you won't have an effect. Steering, pretty simple. If you have a higher number, you can turn sharper. Friction is really weird though. It changes your drift angle, and if you have it set to a higher value, it's sharper, and a lower value, it's wider. But it has weird effects. For one, if you turn, if you have a high value, your mini turbos will be pathetic. You will get like no power out of it. And if you have a low friction, you turn super wide, but you get crazy boosts when you get out of your turns. So that's kind of one of the weird things about friction. And friction also, for some reason, affects your speed for CC speed. It's weird. So Yoshi is a big example here. His is very low, so his CC speed had to compensate by also being really low, so that it actually matches up with the other characters close enough. Gravity. The characters have different stats in this category, but as far as I'm aware, this stat is completely useless. Doesn't do anything. Jump height. How high you jump from a hop. It's really that simple. Fall speed. It's a bit misleading. It doesn't actually change how fast you fall. It just changes how much force you have on your jumps. I don't know how to explain it. It's like, if you have high fall speed, your cart will sort of stop getting momentum upwards a lot faster when you jump, when it's higher. But when it's lower, you get kind of a floatier start to your jump. But as soon as you start going down, it's the same no matter what. So I don't really get, that's a weird stat. Turn speed reduction coefficients A and B. From what I can tell, A only applies when you're making very subtle adjustments, and B is when you're really turning. And Mario's is 0. He has the base value. And what this thing does is that it determines how much speed you lose when you're doing a turn when not drifting. And despite what these look like, positive values are actually bad. you actually want to have negative values. So the numbers where you see 2 dashes before the number is good. So overall, Wario maintains lots of speed when he turns. In fact, Wario can basically keep his top speed very easily on lots of turns. It's actually pretty crazy. The bounding box isn't really worth mentioning. It just kind of means how big their hitbox is. I didn't really mess with those much. And finally, there's acceleration. Everybody has their own acceleration curve in this game. And the numbers from left to right is how early and how late in the acceleration curve, how much power it has. Mario's is actually the same as vanilla, as well as most of Mario's stats. The only stats for Mario I'm pretty sure I changed was his jump height and his fall speed. As you can tell, Peach is really fast on acceleration, and Bowser's really bad at it. But one thing to mention, though, is that Bowser has the best acceleration for the end of the curve, specifically. And when you have a high number at the end of the curve, it means that you can maintain high speeds well. Because whenever your speed drops, if you still are near top speed, you zip right back up to it faster. So that's actually a good thing. And those are the stats. And all these characters have a different feel from each other because of these different stat differences. And when I make this game and later updates, when I actually finally managed to make my own courses, I'm not ready to make courses yet. The Overkart community is still figuring that out, and we still have yet to decompile the game, so we're still on a lot of roadblocks right now. But one of the ideas I want is that in this game, I'm going to have 4 unlockable characters, that being Toadette, Daisy, Diddy, and Waluigi, and all of them are going to have their own stats too, if I can do that. Also, although I turned most of these off for the sake of this video, depending on what CC class you pick in GP mode, will activate certain GS codes that will make the gameplay different for each CC to increase the difficulty of it. And the only code I keep on all the time is a code that I named Boost Strength. And it's set slightly higher than the normal game's value, and basically all that code does is it makes your mushrooms and the start boost have a little bit more oomph to them. You get more speed out of it. Anyway, I think I explained this part enough. I will show you some gameplay now. Believe it or not, this is actually the second time I have to record the video section. Because when I was looking at the playback, the audio for the game was just way too fucking high, and you can barely hear what I'm saying when the game was like playing the music and stuff. So I turned that down significantly. Now it should be much better.
Welcome to Mario Kart.
So I go to time trial mode.
Select your player.
And I'll kind of talk about the characters on Luigi's Raceway to give you an idea of how they all work. Mario is a lot like this vanilla version, with the only difference really being his jump height being higher and his fall speed being lower. Besides that, he's just vanilla Mario. So he has the least to really talk about. Everything that you know about Mario, you will know about Mario still. The one thing you notice is if you pay close attention when I hop, that's a bit higher than normal. And lower fall speed does make can maintain its momentum slightly more than other characters. Luigi is the next guy. There are some things to talk about with Luigi. He's slower than Mario, but has better steering, better turn coefficients. He also has, better acceleration, better steering, better turn coefficients. Though he's a bit lighter than Mario. his friction is actually slightly lower. And you know how friction works on the first part.
Here we go. Here we go.
You can see that code with the mushrooms. I talked about the ultra code makes it much
Here we
stronger.
go.
You can tell.
Here we go.
Super acceleration time. You can tell it's better than Mario's. Next is Peach.
Let's go. Select map.
Pretty similar to Mario, but has some minor differences. She's lighter than Mario. Her gravity's slightly lower, but like I said, the gravity doesn't seem to matter. And the only thing about her is that her turn coefficients are worse than Mario's, but her acceleration is way better than Mario's. In fact, probably has the best acceleration in the game. Toad's comes pretty close though. I'm not sure if Toad's is better than hers or not. I still think she barely beats Toad. Everything else about Peach is pretty either very close to vanilla or is vanilla.
Here we go. Thank you. Here we go. Here we go.
Oh wait. Her super acceleration is the best. Yeah, that was pretty fast, wasn't it? Just wait until you see it on Extra. On Extra, see that her triple attack is like insane. Now we have Toad.
Yahoo! Select map.
Toad, I believe, is slightly faster than Mario. Has pretty good acceleration, just slightly below Peach's really. Has turn coefficients that are arguably worse than Peach's. Though Toad has the same friction as DK, which is lower than Mario's. It's actually lower than Luigi's as well, so it has more of a bump than Luigi's. But Toad also has more poor steering compared to Mario though. And Toad is the lightest character in the game. Toad also has the lowest fall speed for his jump. Also. Yeah, I think Toad's acceleration is actually now better than Peach's now. I think I need to nerf his a bit in a later update. Because Peach is supposed to be the king of acceleration. Yoshi, this character is interesting.
Select map.
When it comes to like his speed and his weight, ball speed, it's pretty normal. But there are two things about Yoshi. One, his turn coefficients are the worst. They're the worst of the bunch. But look at this friction. You see the speed gains from mini turbos. Isn't that crazy? That's the meta. That's Yoshi meta right there. That's how you win. You gotta control those wide turns and get the big boosts down. And Yoshi, because Yoshi's steering and turn coefficients are bad. So it's just better to do drifts whenever you can. But on certain tracks like Mario Stadium, it can be kind of hard. Or triple tap. His acceleration is pretty good too. I think it's actually slightly stronger than Luigi's. DK. Okay, calm.
Map.
Now DK's acceleration is actually the second worst in the game. It's pretty poor. Also DK has the worst steering. Can you tell how much he's like kind of sliding out when I'm trying to turn? It's pretty bad. Also, DK has some pretty bad turn coefficients, but it's not as bad as Yoshi's. But he also has the same drift as Toad, which is nice. DK is also heavy like Bowser, so he's good for that. And the main thing though we want to know is that DK has the best CC speed out of everybody. He's the fastest choice. So you're gonna have to deal with the lumbering drawbacks he has. Acceleration. I don't think I did that right. You'll notice that initially his acceleration is really bad. He has a pretty low numbers at the beginning of the curve. Wario. He is the slowest character, but when it comes to being when it comes to his performance on turns, Wario's the best there is. His turn coefficients are just godly, like they're amazing. He basically maintains like all the speed. His steering is also the best, unrivaled. The way when it comes close is Peach. And his drift, he has the second highest friction, so he has tight drifts. Although that means his major low is kind of weak, but that's alright. Because he controls like a train. That's Wario's faster acceleration. And now we move on to Bowser, the king himself. Watch this pitiful display. Yes, that is Bowser's drawback, but the thing is that when it comes to almost everything else, Bowser's awesome. His CC speed is still less than Kong's, but I think it's the second fastest still. Bowser also has good turn coefficients on top of being faster than Mario, something that only Bowser has. Bowser's the only character who's faster than Mario that has good turn coefficients. And he has the highest friction, which means Bowser has the sharpest drifts, but his mini turbos are the weakest. And yeah, his acceleration is really bad. Though there is one thing you will notice. His acceleration shoots up really fast at the end. Well, believe it or not, despite his acceleration overall being the slowest, he has the highest value for the end of the curve, which means he can maintain speeds well, like I said earlier in the video. He maintains speeds very well at high speeds. His speed will just shoot back up really quickly whenever it loses its speed. So overall, Bowser's still awesome. His steering is second worst, only the DK being worse. So there's that too. Now I'll show one last thing before we go. Extra mode.
Select your player.
I'll do it with Bowser because Dead Hamster likes Bowser.
Select man.
Just in honor of him, because he's great. He started this whole community for Overkart. He's the one who made the modding tool for this. So in his honor, I'm playing as Bowser. I totally messed up the timing on that booster. You notice the speed difference? It's faster than 150cc. It's great. I don't know why, but this is a common in the fucking main, I swear. It happens all the time. Kick all your asses. And if I were able to get a star for being far behind, I could show you some craziness. Because if you grab a star power on higher CCs, you get to go way faster than you can with any other item in the game. And you can see your spelling go places you didn't even know. Wow, that didn't go out well. That was pretty idiotic, to be honest. Okay, that was really stupid. I totally had that in the bag. Well, I guess that's really it. Oh, that's all I really was going to show off. One thing is that the point totals you see there, 1, 3, 6, 9. When I make it to the final version, I'm gonna make that different. I'm gonna make it like 1, 2, 3, 5 or something. Also, for the bonus characters, they were gonna be unlocked by completing certain CC modes and stuff, and then Waluigi specifically will be like this time trial challenge idea I have. But again, there's still a lot more work the Overkart community needs to make before I can really do any of that. Another video I did a while back was for a Mario 64 ROM hacker story, but I never finished it. But if anybody wants to just kind of see what I did, you can see it, but I'm never finishing that though. I don't feel like it. There's already too many fucking ROM hacks in that game anyway. But anyway though, you should really check out Overkart if you haven't before to really see all the cool hype. Dead Hamster created, he released Build 3 a while ago, and if you look it up, you can basically download his ROM where you can play 16 custom courses. The custom courses are still kind of buggy, and they don't run very well on console. It's probably just better to use it on emulator, to be honest. And I'm pretty sure none of the new tracks have music, so that's kind of lame. But anyway, it's still pretty cool to see custom courses, and he's gonna keep making revisions to them later to add more to them, and there's definitely improvements to be made to Overkarts. But anyway, I guess that's it, and I'll see you guys later.